Yeah.
It's worth reading about the history of writing, but only 5,500 years, and one has to credit basically the ancient Sumerians who aren't around anymore with the first writing.
Are you aware, though, that there's hieroglyphs that depict a history of Egypt that goes back far longer, maybe even 30,000 plus years ago, but archaeologists dismiss it because they think that that's mythical. But non-conventional archaeologists who believe in what's called the Younger Dryas impact theory,
Okay.
and that somewhere around 11,800 years ago, civilization was essentially all but wiped out by comet impacts.
Okay.
And that is the reason why they keep finding these insanely old, huge structures, megalithic structures that are carved out of stone. Like when you go back to like Gobekli Tepe, which is 11,600 years ago.
Okay.
That's an insanely old structure that they didn't even know people were capable of building until they discovered it in the 1990s. So the conventional timeline of people, when you go to 11,600 years ago, was just hunter-gatherers. Yeah, in terms of writing,
Yeah.
Well, what they believe is that there's very little left of this ancient civilization other than things like the pyramids, other than things like the Sphinx. There's a geologist that really stuck his neck out. His name is Dr. Robert Schoch from Boston University. And what he said was his theory is that there's deep water erosion all over the temple of the Sphinx, where the Sphinx was carved out of, that is indicative of thousands of years of rainfall. And the last time they had rainfall in the Nile Valley was around 9,000 BC. So what he believes is, because back then the whole Nile Valley was a lush rainforest, then eventually receded into desert.
Okay.
Yeah, so that whole area, like even the Sahara, used to be rich rainforest. And it receded into what it is now. But if you go back then, he believes that's when that thing was constructed. And he says the physical the geologists look at it, and if he shows it to them in terms of like just shows an image of the erosion and doesn't tell them where it is, they'll almost all of them will say that's water erosion from thousands of years of rainfall.
Probably not.
I should point out that I never eat pizza.
Really?
No, never.
Why not?
Because it's not really good for you.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to accuse pizza of being like the healthiest thing in the world. This looks awesome.
That does look awesome. You want a plate, Jamie? Yeah. Get in there, sir. Grab a piece.
All right, sick.
Let's go.
This is awesome.
And what's the name of this pizza place?
Living
again?